All right, let's talk about trading. If you've spent any time in the markets, you've probably heard someone dismiss it as just a casino. But what if I told you that most traders would be way more successful if they actually did trade like a casino? Today, we're going to dig into a really cool idea that completely flips that old saying on its head.
And this is the quote that gets right to the heart of it. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, 0 DTE means 0 days to expiration options. It's super fast, high-stakes trading. The point here is that calling it a casino isn't an insult. It should be the goal. Why? Because casinos are absolute masters of the one thing most traders fail at: managing risk.
So, first things first, we gotta challenge a huge misconception. When you think of a casino, you probably picture, flashing lights, people betting it all on one lucky roll of the dice, pure chaotic luck. But the way they actually run their business couldn't be further from random.
The truth is, a casino is one of the most disciplined, numbers-driven businesses you can possibly imagine. The house isn't gambling, not at all. They are executing a totally predictable, repeatable plan over and over and over, with almost robotic efficiency.
Okay, so let's get into it. How exactly do they pull this off? What's their secret playbook? Well, it's actually surprisingly simple. It really just boils down to 3 key steps that basically guarantee they win in the long run. First, on every single game they offer, they have a small but very precisely measured mathematical edge. Second, and this is absolutely critical, they have ironclad rules on bet sizes and table limits. This ensures that no single loss can ever really hurt them. And third, they just let the law of large numbers do its thing by taking thousands upon thousands of these small, controlled bets every single day.
Okay, so now let's hold up a mirror. How does the average retail trader's game plan compare to the casino's disciplined model? Well, as you're about to see, the difference is, pretty massive and, frankly, a little scary.
And here it is, head to head. You've got the casino, which has a known, calculated edge. And then you have the typical trader, who often has no clue what their actual edge is, especially after fees. The casino has strict rules on bet size. The trader? Their position size is often just based on a gut feeling or how confident they are. The casino needs a massive sample size to let their edge play out. The trader? They often quit after a few losses or go all in after a win, making their results totally random.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? I mean, think about that for a second. That emotional, undisciplined approach to risk that so many traders use would literally bankrupt a multi-billion-dollar casino in a matter of days. It's a perfect recipe for blowing up.
But hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's look at the hard data. We're going to run a little simulation here, a head-to-head competition, to see exactly how this plays out in the real world.
So here's the setup. We're going to create 2 imaginary traders. They both start with the exact same amount of money. And here's the most important part. They both have the exact same winning strategy. The only thing that's different between them is how they manage their risk on each trade. Let's look at the numbers. They both start with $100,000. They both have a positive edge. They win 55% of their trades. And they'll each make 250 trades. Everything is identical, except for this one crucial line right here. Our casino trader risks a disciplined 1% of their capital on each trade. Our retail trader is risking a huge and very dangerous 20%. So here's the million-dollar question. They have the same winning strategy. Who do you think comes out ahead? The disciplined, casino-style trader or the aggressive go-for-broke trader? Let's take a look. And the results are just staggering. This chart shows something called the risk of ruin, which is basically the odds of you blowing up your account. For the casino trader risking just 1%, that chance is next to nothing. But for the retail trader risking 20%, whoa, it is a completely different story. That's right, 76.5%. Let that number sink in for a second. The retail trader, even though they had a winning strategy, goes broke in more than 3 out of 4 of these simulations. Their aggressive bet sizing completely wipes them out. Now look at the final account balances. The casino trader's median, or typical result, is a nice, healthy profit. They're growing their account. The retail trader, their typical result is blowing up. They lose it all. Sure, their average outcome is positive, but that's only because a tiny few hit a massive jackpot. For most of them, it's game over. Same strategy, totally different results, all because of bet sizing. So what's the big takeaway here for you? This isn't just a fun math experiment. It's a really powerful lesson that we can and should apply directly to how we trade. So here it is, the most important point of this whole explainer. Your bet size is more important than your win rate for long-term survival. You can have the greatest strategy in the world, a genuine edge, but if you bet too big, the math says you will eventually go broke. Staying in the game is all about disciplined risk.
And that brings us right back to this final, tough question you have to ask yourself. When you put on a trade, are you acting like the house, methodically applying a small edge with disciplined risk? Or are you just making big bets based on gut feelings, basically just gambling, but with a fancy, high IQ wrapper? The answer to that question might just be the difference between long-term success and total ruin.